All right, so welcome to the third take of episode 33.
Yeah, third time is the charm.
Of the Regular Size Man podcast. My name is Sam. As always, beautiful, magical man Jacob is with us as
I'm
well.
going to say it again because I've already said it once. Thank you for the compliment. It makes me happy every time.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. But yes, no, the first time I forgot what stuffed up. The second time the audio was out of whack.
Yep.
So the third time, we don't know what's happening, but so far I'm looking around and...
You should probably go check the actual app, right?
Yeah, let's
go.
go. Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's,
everything's looking okay.
We're
at the
okay.
moment. The chest is very squeaky, but Jacob can't do anything about that.
I can't. I'm trying to literally stand still, but I'm very
No, don't be
ADD.
stiff. Don't be stiff. Loosey-goosey, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, enjoy the show, guys. So yes, we've had a bit of an interesting week. Since we last spoke to you, we do want to apologise though for the lack of episodes. I went away and we just kind of got busy. We had public holidays, birthdays, everything was coming up. So we do apologise for the lack of podcasts and the lack of content in general. But we are back now. We've worked out what our aim for this year and we're just really going to start hitting the ground running with that. So very excited. I think we both could agree on that part. But yeah, no, we saw a few movies that we don't really want to talk about in too much detail, but we'll just list them quickly. So the first one was Knives Out. You can prompt you. Go on.
I can't say anything else but like extremely average. Like just beyond average. It just, I don't know. It wasn't a terrible film by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think either of us thought that it was terrible. But for me, it just lacked the kind of
wow factor.
Like just Like I couldn't point to any point in the movie and be like, that was amazing. You need to go say that.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable, but for me, Murder on the Orient Express is a better murder mystery. I don't think you've seen that.
No,
but I think that's a better murder mystery than that one.
There was no suspense really for me. I don't know what it was. Like it's meant to be a movie about suspense.
Was that because they kind of told you who the killer was at the start? Spoiler alert.
Well, no, they didn't really.
They do though. They tell you it's what's her name?
We're dropping spoilers here.
Yeah, they tell you it's what's her name?
It was very unconventional.
I kind of was waiting for another twist, I think.
Yeah. I think that's Rian Johnson's kind of style. Is he like? It's very
screws with your heart.
No. I think that his directing, it divides people. Not in the way it's like you either love it or it's just eh.
Yeah, but I heard nothing but amazing about this movie.
Well, we're saying it's so we're the divided ones.
We are. We're the only divided ones in the world as well. So you watched 1917 as well.
I watched 1917. Yeah. Amazing movie. The cinematography on that movie, next to none. Just phenomenal. Great work from Sam Mendes.
I had a good chat with your dad actually on the way. Just before walking up the stairs to record this, I was talking to him about it. He was raving about it.
Yeah, no, it was a great movie. I was very happy I saw that. Another one I saw was Parasite, which is the Korean film from
Korea.
Yeah, I forgot the director's name.
Korea.
Jong-un, I think it was. Bong Joon-ho. And his directing was a great movie. It was a very interesting movie. It was the first ever subtitled movie I've ever watched. Yep. And it was just very different. But it was a better thriller than Knives Out.
Interesting. Like, well, I mean, it did win awards for a reason, I suppose.
Yeah, it's great movie. It's very weird, but it's very good. So it's just all around an awesome film as well. Yeah, so very happy I saw that one.
I feel like we watched something else, or has it not been that long? Well, we finished Titans, which we will get to later.
Yes.
And I've just been thrashing Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Really?
Yeah. I'm up to season 3 now. It's amazing. Yeah,
I'm going to see Bombshell tonight with Kayla. We're doing a bit of a date night tonight.
Yeah.
I did look up reviews though, and it hasn't been reviewing that well.
That's surprising because isn't Margot Robbie nominated for an Oscar for it?
Is she?
For supporting actress? I think so.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard the movie. It's gotten around like 6s from the box, like every IMDb, Metacritic, and the other one that's on Google.
Maybe it's good. Performance by cast, but not good movie.
Well, I'll find out tonight, and I'll let you know. We'll talk about it next week.
We will.
So I'm excited to see that. Another we have meant to be watching Bad Boys. Haven't seen that yet.
I don't know how we haven't gotten around to Bad Boys. See, that's how hectic it's been. It hasn't just been that we haven't done stuff at the podcast. It's just we haven't done stuff. It's been hectic. I would have thought we'd watch Bad Boys by now.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the sessions for these movies are no longer at night. Some of them are, but a lot of them, like Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, we usually go at like 9 o'clock to the movies, and there's no 9 o'clock screenings anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's a bit of a hindrance. I guess you could say. Like Bombshell tonight's 8:50.
That's handy. That's handy.
So it's very good in that regard. So anyway, we'll get to it. We'll do what we can.
Actually, on that, T minus 10 days till Birds of Prey hits.
Yes, I'm very excited to see that one.
I'm excited to see that one. I hope that one's going to be good.
I am very excited for that one. That's going to be... Yeah, it's probably my next big one.
I think it's probably the next big one for us. Like, it's going to be the one I go see within a couple days of opening at the very least.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
What day of the week does it come out?
It comes out Thursdays.
Yeah, I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I got my roster. I do have my work roster.
Either way, we'll have it.
No, I'm looking at it right now. So it comes out on the 8th, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's a Saturday.
Oh, no, then it must be the 6th for us.
Jacob, you're really just...
I don't know. Let me quickly,
I'm looking this up. I'm looking it up.
I'll get it first. No, I won't, because Google didn't load.
It's 6th of February. Yes, it is the Thursday.
I told you.
Well,
I was
going
right.
to my work roster right now,
That's
not to say
week.
this is a scuff stream, I have Thursday morning until 3 p.m. So after 3 p.m. I'm free. We can go see it Thursday night. Fantastic. All right, good. Now, should we move on to the room mill?
I think we should move on to the room mill.
Okay. Yeah, we've moved on to the room mill. So, all right, do you want me to start?
Go for it.
Okay, so Spider-Man 3 may have its leading villain, with a new report including that Kraven the Hunter will be the main antagonist against the Spiderling. Nice. Spiderling.
Thank you. I had to think of a different word.
What would you like to see more of? Kraven the Hunter or the Sinister Six take on Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
I am neither against nor for either of them. Oh, no, I like either of them. Yeah. I could, if it's Kraven the Hunter, I reckon that's going to be an awesome storyline, so I'm definitely down for that. But I feel like with the Sinister Six, you probably got to wait a little bit. I don't know, I don't know. I feel like MCU Sinister Six would be good, but I don't think that's how it's going to happen. I think it's more than likely going to be like a Venom and Morbius Sinister Six, which I have less high hopes for. What do you think?
I would prefer the Sinister Six not including Venom and Morbius, because, to be honest, they've kind of set it up with like Vulture and stuff and the post-credit scene of Homecoming. Like, it's been set up, so they should just do it.
Yeah, but like it's connected now to Morbius. Yeah. And thus Venom. So, like, I don't think we're going to be able to get one without the other. That's more my thing.
This is true. I mean, if that's the case, probably Kraven. Yeah. But if there's a magical way which we don't get it, I would go with the Sinister Six.
Oh, I'm calling it right now, by the way. The Undertaker from WWE will be cast as Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, I like that.
Could you imagine that?
That'd be good.
Is he a good actor? Probably not.
Probably not.
He's on WWE.
He does WWE, so maybe that's good acting.
He'd be good in the stunts department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all you need.
Cool, moving on.
Okay, so Marvel Studios may be developing projects based on the Netflix characters, the Defenders. So that would include Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. I've written Iron Fist twice. And Luke Cage. Sam, if this were to happen, would you like to see someone else take on the mantles of the characters, or have the previous actors reprise their roles in the MCU?
Well, I have seen minimal. This probably should have been a question for you, but I've seen minimal of Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and I think that they both do very well in their roles. Luke Cage as well, from what I've seen him when he has sex with Jessica Jones at the start.
Yeah, that's what you watched.
Great performance.
Yeah.
No, but I've seen minimal of it, and I think, like, from what I've seen, they do very well, and I think they suit their characters very well. And
I would say they're all pretty well cast. Even Iron Fist is not badly cast. It's just not a great show. Like, it's not as good as the other ones.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be down to see them all reprised. I think for me, Daredevil and Jessica Jones are a must to be recast, because I love Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter as the two. Like, they're genuinely amazing.
Yeah.
And I have a really soft spot for Jessica Jones. Like, I love that show.
I know you usually talk about it quite often.
So, like, for me, I'm definitely down for them to reprise their roles. But, again, it's Marvel, so, like, I doubt they're going to cast wrong if they were to recast.
I don't see them recasting, to be honest. They don't like to recast. I mean, besides Edward Norton.
But it was also separate from the Netflix universe and the Marvel. Like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think they just wipe the slate clean and kind of go again?
I think that they have advantage if they were to I feel like the Netflix shows did have a good backing to them, so I don't think it's completely other questions that they get rid of them. I think that they should recast, and I think they will strongly consider recasting if the characters are down to do it.
100%.
Cool.
100%.
So, Marvel Studios rumors again. So a rumor has it that they have gained full control back of Hulk and Namor from Universal Pictures. So would you like to see a Hulk or Namor solo film soon?
I'm going straight in on Hulk.
Straight on a Hulk?
Yeah, I would love to see a Hulk-focused movie. Like, we kind of got it a little bit in Ragnarok, but even,
Nah.
Okay, but when I say kind of mean, I mean, like, that was his most prevalent, I'd probably say. So I would, like, I don't know, man. I really like, what's his name, Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner and Hulk, and I think that, like, I don't know, I think Hulk's just a really interesting character. I like when he goes berserk, and I don't think that we see that enough in terms of, like, we see him go berserk in Ultron, but it's not necessarily from a viewpoint of Hulk.
Yeah.
It's from a viewpoint of everybody else. And I think I would like to see that kind of point of view coming from Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree, because the MCU doesn't really claim the Incredible Hulk as a part of the MCU.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do, but...
No, nobody does.
No.
They're the only ones.
We don't.
No, most, I'd say about 95% of fans do not.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them, with today's technology, today's CGI as well, go for it again. That'd be really cool.
100%, yeah.
Also,
and I would like to see him... Sorry, I'd like to see him go against the Abomination again.
Yeah.
Just another big and just smacking each other. I do like the big smacks. So.
Yeah, how about Namor?
Do you care about Namor at all?
I think Black Panther 2 potential. Otherwise,
I think he'd have to be ushered in first.
I don't know much about him.
He's just Aquaman, Marvel. Pretty much.
Yeah, he'd be cool.
Yeah.
As a villain.
He would be, yeah. And that's why I think he'd have to be ushered in a different film, not his own.
That's fair.
And I think people would want a Hulk way more than they would want to see a new hero.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I think Hulk's
copped a dry.
Exactly. He's paid his dues. Let's give him something.
Give him something back.
Yeah.
All right, and last one.
Karen Gillan, who plays Ruby Roundhouse in Jumanji, has stated that she would love to star and direct a Batgirl movie. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
Very, very big yay.
Yeah.
I love her in Jumanji. Not so much... I mean, she did very well in the second Jumanji as well, besides that movie being quite average.
Yeah.
But in saying that, she shows that she can go into a crime-fighting type of movie.
Like a serious...
Yeah.
Action hero.
Yeah. She could the Ruby Roundhouse moves in Jumanji. She could transport that over to Batgirl. I think she has the capabilities because it's pretty much a similar type of thing.
Yeah.
Essentially just drop the comedy act, which I feel like she can do. And you got a really good movie, like a really good starting point for a movie there. I have no objections about that at all.
Yeah, I've got no idea about her directing skills, so I think for me that'd be the only trepidation. But I feel like it'd be good. And I would like Batgirl. I like Batgirl much more than I like Batwoman. I'm talking genuinely as a character. From all of the iterations, I think Batgirl's much more intriguing.
Yeah.
So I think it would be awesome to see.
I don't know much of the difference.
Batgirl becomes, she's Barbara Gordon.
Oh, okay.
And then so Jim Gordon's daughter, and then she becomes Oracle when she gets an injury and then has to be in a wheelchair. So I don't know. I like her much more. And I think her costume is much better than Batwoman's.
Right.
So I'm all aboard this purely, honestly, just to see the purple in the costume. I think it would be dope.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. So before we get into our Titans talk, we kind of really discussed our movies before, but we've set a challenge for ourselves this year that we want to watch 50 movies this year. I am currently up to 7.
That's a tough task.
It is a tough task.
I'm not up to 7.
I am up to 7. And I think I'm going to hit 8 tonight.
How are you up to 7?
Well, I watched A Quiet Place. Did I tell you this?
No.
I watched A Quiet Place after Monty
What
telling me.
are you talking about? Did you like it?
Yes.
It's insane, isn't it?
It wasn't my favourite movie, but I quite enjoyed it.
Would you agree it's probably a little bit leaning on thriller?
Yeah.
It's not that scary.
No, it didn't scare me at all.
Because I think that the scary portions of it are quite
tame.
This is going to be scary.
Yeah.
So
I would have loved to see a bit more. I'd love to. I was happy that they didn't do a whole backstory thing, but I hope they do it in the second one.
Well, from the trailer, to me, it looks like for number 2, it looks like that's what's going to be happening because obviously we know that John Krasinski's character's gone. So I would say it would be a number 2.
Yeah. Well, this is my list of movies I've seen so far this year. So we saw The Gentleman together.
Yep.
Then we saw Knives Out together. Mm-hmm. When I was in Gold Coast, I watched Alita Battle Angel. And then I had a bunch of Alita stans attack me on Twitter. And that's not a joke. They actually did. Look, I'll show you right here. I'll read you the tweets if you're watching, if you're listening as well. Someone said,
Why?
Smart move. And then another one said, 8 out of 10, here's where you're going to die, because I gave it an 8 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10.
It's just a leader.
But no, like there's Alita fan accounts with like 2,000 followers. Like they quoted my tweet and they were
That's
like,
kind of sad.
yeah, like they really want a sequel to that. And then I saw 1917 in Gold Coast as well. And then I saw Bad Boys 2 whilst I was up there as well, because
I thought you didn't watch Bad Boys 2.
No, not Bad Boys for Life. Bad Boys 2.
Oh, yeah, shit.
The old one.
Yeah.
And then, we watched Parasite last week of a spur of the moment. And then the other night I was just at home and I watched...
Damn, you're really on that grind, actually.
Well, when you go out for a stray day and you're having a couple of bevies, I'm in bed by 9 watching a movie. So that's the difference between us. And that's why I've seen 7 movies so far this year.
That's fair.
So I'm going to finish the month of January with probably 8, potentially 9 movies finished.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm almost a fifth of the way through and I've only just started the year. So I think I've done well.
That's pretty damn good.
I'm halfway through my first book of the year. I've started reading again.
Wow.
I aim to read 10 books this year.
Yeah.
And I've, I'm partway through the first book. I'm halfway through.
Yep.
And then 10 TV shows. And I've watched The Witcher,
Titans,
and Inside, the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix.
Are you counting that? Isn't it like 3 episodes?
It's 3 episodes. So I don't know if it counts. It's like a half. So
I've actually have to watch that though.
So I'll watch Don't Fuck with Cats, which I've heard is also
it's
really
very
good. Which is about a guy. It's about a guy who kills cats.
It's very, very good.
And the internet tries to find him. Is that
the internet doesn't try? They successfully find him. It's very, very
Spoilers.
good. It's very, very good.
Yeah,
it's insane.
So I'll count those 2 as 1. I think.
Yeah, I think you could probably do that. Yeah, only because it's 3 episodes.
Yeah, but I just started You.
That's very good as well.
I've heard that's very good.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I already watched it ages ago.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Season 2 is better than season 1.
Oh, really?
Season 1, I rewatched season 1 after watching season 2 because I'd already watched it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll watch it again. And season 1 is kind of... I think season 2, you definitely... I think the writing of the show is much better because you really, really, really start to sympathize for Joe and who he is.
Don't spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But you really... I think you get... I think season 1 is kind of just like, what the fuck are you doing, Joe?
Yeah.
This is kind of fucked up. It is fucked up.
Yeah.
And you're a wrong person. But then season 2, I think you kind of start to feel bad for him, and it's more of a... You get to know him a bit more, I think. I think season 1, it's deliberately...
It's a shock.
Joe's not a good person.
Mm-hmm.
But season 2 is more like a why.
Okay. Yeah, because I've only watched 3 episodes so far, and I'm really getting into it. It's actually
it's quite good. It's very, very good. There's a lot of twists and turns that are quite good. So it's a good show. Yeah,
I'm keen to keep watching that. Also, I was going to watch Sex Education, but I thought I wasn't going to like it, but then I got told to watch it again.
I'm going to start it.
Yeah, I'm going to start it.
I've heard it's very good.
So maybe we'll talk about that. We'll educate you guys about sex education.
We might have to.
We will.
I've heard there's quite a bit of different stuff.
Make a bad joke.
Please don't.
No, we're keeping it family friendly. But yeah, so that's my update. I'm up to 7 movies. I'll be 8 tonight after I see Bombshell.
Yep.
And
then we'll be seeing Sonic on Valentine's Day.
We are seeing Sonic. I think Kayla was like, "I'll take you for Valentine's Day." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, you got a date with Jacob." So
bad luck, Kayla.
Yeah, bad luck. I don't know if she's watching, but sorry, babe. But yeah, no, let's get into Titans season 2. So Titans is a TV show from DC. It has the Titans, which are a group of heroes.
Teenage. It's like the mini Justice League essentially. It's like all the Justice League sidekicks, kind of.
Yeah, it's a show about sidekicks.
Yeah, it's a good show. Let's get into it.
It is a good. No, don't get me wrong. It is a good show, but it does have a lot of holes and a lot of places where it's sitting at about if we're using at about halfway at my face, where it could be at the top of my head.
Yeah,
it has a lot of. It probably could sit at this season probably a 6.5 out of 10, where it could have been an 8.5 out of 10.
Well, here's my thing. I think with it, I think a lot of what I've written down in my notes is bad stuff because I think for me it's easier to pick out bad than good.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, it's going to sound like I really hated this show. I didn't hate this show.
It's fucking trash.
I didn't hate this show. I just think that, like you said, there was a lot of potential for it to be up here, and it didn't reach up there. It reached down here.
I saw so much potential in the show, and that's why it upset me. I think
that's why it hit me too.
I really I saw how good this could have been, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I obviously spoilers for Titans season 2.
So do we want to
now available on Netflix? So do not
Don't come at us. Don't come at us. So on that, do we want to kind of give a recap of the end of season 1 and then the lead up to season and then the start of 2 because that was our first issue with the show.
Yeah, well, let's get this one out the way.
Yep.
The way that DC did this was they ended season 1 on the cliffhanger, and then they had the first episode pretty much be the ending of season 1, which just automatic red flag for the entire season.
Yeah,
that should never happen. Like I wrote this in my Titans video that I was making on my second channel on YouTube. It's, you don't attract viewers by leaving a cliffhanger. You attract viewers by making a decent show. And it felt like it just felt like a slap in the face because it was like I watched this whole show and then it was just left me on this cliffhanger and it's just like it was just a slap in the face. Like I didn't finish the show, but I got to wait 6 months to finish it.
Well, I think for me, in terms of the cliffhanger aspect of it, I think a cliffhanger. When you leave a show on a cliffhanger, I think it's something that you need to earn the right to do. It sounds silly, but I think as a show, you have to build up season after season of good quality watching to be able to leave them on a season-ending cliffhanger that you have to wait a certain amount of months for, if you know what I mean. So to do it for season 1, I thought was stupid.
It was very ballsy.
Because at the end of the day, we know they're going to come out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There might be a fatality, but we know they're going to come out of it.
Well, yeah, they were teasing Deathstroke in the trailers, so we already knew that.
Yeah, exactly. We knew Deathstroke was coming in season 2. We knew there was another big bad. It was silly. So the cliffhanger was essentially that all the Titans were taken over by Rachel Raven's dad, Trigon, and then episode 1 of season 2 is like them trying to fight back from Trigon, which is it sets the whole season off on a bad tone. Because it just seems really weird.
Maybe Trigon should have taken over.
maybe should have. I think it would have been. Yeah. Then it would have just been disappointing the whole time.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like they completely got their pacing and their timing off because it definitely seemed like that first episode in season 2 had to be the end of season 1.
Yeah, and I think one of our big things to the whole thing is pacing. Which we're going to get into more later on. But yeah, this first episode really just didn't set us off on a good tone, I don't think. Yeah,
well, I think because it was a pacing issue and a timing issue, that kind of we didn't know it till we watched the rest of the season, but that kind of alluded to what was going to happen throughout the season. So I had a big issue early on. I started taking real notes probably about episode 4, episode 5. So forgive me if I forget stuff from 1, 2, 3, 4. But I had a big issue that I felt like characters such as Rachel and Garfield constantly think the wrong thing and it just fucks them.
It did get frustrating.
There was one specific scene. It was the part where they're in the control room of the Titans headquarters and it's when they've already met Rose and Jason wants to go find Deathstroke.
Yep.
And I understood him wanting to go find Deathstroke. Jason has been depicted as a irrational kid that wants to just quickly do things, you know what I mean, without really thinking.
Yeah.
So it made sense to me that he wanted to try and get the others on board and want to go.
Yeah, wanted to fight on instinct. I fully agree with that, yeah.
What didn't make sense was that Garfield and Rachel were like, yes.
Yes.
That their characters had seemed like they were incredibly level-headed. It seemed like they both were not stupid enough to do a thing like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even if it was to back up one of their own Titans, it seemed like the characters would never ever do that, and yet they went and did it, and then that kind of just instigated the whole plot. It seemed like they did it for plot reasons, but because the characters weren't that wasn't part of their personality.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of times in the show as well, there was why would you do this? Like, for instance, when Supergirl comes back after
Superboy.
Wonder Girl, comes back after Superboy and Garth have been taken. She's like, what happened here? And then 2 episodes earlier, we learned that the whole house is fitted with cameras. So I'm like, why wouldn't you go check the cameras? Wouldn't that be your first instinct?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just things like that. It's just very inconsistent at keeping plots. And for somebody who's meant to be quite an intelligent hero,
and experienced,
because Wonder Girl was one of the original 4. They're not.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, sorry. Even another thing that I think I had an even bigger issue was that Rachel. So Rachel again has issues with her powers, which I hated that they continued that storyline. Put that to bed at least for a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't need it. It didn't make sense to me that she didn't want to tell Dick, because Dick had proven and shown to her throughout season 1 that he was there for her and he was open to hearing. Like he sought her out and made sure she was okay and was there to help her with her problems. It made no sense that Rachel felt like she couldn't tell Dick or was going to be a burden on him.
And Rachel also went to that massive effort of saving him in the first season. And like, the start of in the first episode of the season, we remember how he like touches the hand and goes, remember all we've been through together.
Yeah.
You know, it's always going to be like this. And then it's just like,
yeah.
But I have these new powers and I'm not going to tell you that it's hurting me.
It didn't make any sense.
No.
And in following that, we'll get onto this a little bit at the end because that's what happens at the end of the season. Rachel and Dick, to me, at the end of season 1 and the start of season 2, the first episode, seemed like they had the strongest connection out of anyone. Like the strongest relationship because they started
exactly
together. So
and then all of a sudden, like Corey and Rachel are the bestest of friends, and it's like Dick doesn't even want to know Rachel. Or
yeah,
they didn't even want to know each other.
Yeah,
like I understand Rachel and Corey should have been close, rightfully so. But then why does Dick fall out of the picture for no reason?
100%.
There's no. I mean, besides the whole confession thing, before that, there was no reason why they shouldn't have been close.
Yeah. What did you think of the new looks for the season? Because Garfield gets his hair changed, like it's same color, but it's slicked back in a certain way. Corey has her hair straightened. I think like there's Rachel has her hair cut nicer, and she's got the whatever the thing is on her head. I think they looked much better. I liked it
Visually, the characters all had an upgrade.
That was probably one of my favorite parts of the season. The costumes and what they look like.
Visually,
yeah.
I think everybody was improved and everybody looked better, and you could see the progression in every character, and that's one of the parts that I thoroughly enjoyed, was that you could see, and especially Dick, spoilers here, like when he gets into Nightwing suit, you can see the progression and you can see the whole story. And Dick's arc in the show is probably the best thing about the season. Was his arc becoming Nightwing from Robin.
On that, everything that Dick does and Nightwing does is the best part.
Yeah.
From Brendan Thwaites' actual acting to the storyline to everything about him. Particularly so, the Bruce Wayne episode was my favorite of the season. The one where Bruce is in his head. Like, it's called Bruce Wayne, where Bruce is actually in his head. That was
good.
I loved every second of that. I didn't know if I liked it at the start. I didn't know if I liked that depiction of Bruce Wayne because I kind of felt like he was too much of a dick.
Yeah.
But I liked it a lot. It was easily my favorite episode of the season.
Then, yeah, like, again, you got to remember, like, it's Dick's interpretation of Bruce Wayne, not Bruce Wayne. I'm even talking not his interpretation. I'm talking actual Bruce Wayne at first. I agree with you there because I thought that was actually Bruce Wayne, but then I realized, obviously. But what did you think of the prison scene and the whole thing, Dick getting himself into prison?
So you'd finished it before I'd finished it. So you did preface me that something stupid was coming.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind when he was in jail.
Yeah.
Because the whole breaking the other two guys out and that whole, like, you know,
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. But, like, the way he got himself into jail just was like,
it seemed, I don't know.
Weird.
Again, I felt like it was something that was so out of character because I felt like he knew he's smart. Yeah. And he's shown that. It seemed incredibly... I know that it was meant to show as an irrational move, but I thought it was too stupid that he would throw himself in jail.
No, I felt like it would have just been made more sense for him to take the plane ticket and go to, like, the farthest place possible.
100%.
Like, I don't get why they did that whole scene where they're like, oh, hey, where's the farthest place I can go? And then, hold up, let me beat up a cop quickly. And he gets 7 years in prison.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. You could have just skipped the whole prison thing. Maybe he could have gone to whatever, like somewhere like where Ra's al Ghul is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because, like, now he hasn't, like, he's got 7 years imprisonment and he's also broken out of prison. And also the trial went really quickly for him to get 7 years.
He had a trial?
Well, you got 7 years.
Yeah, shit, he even had a trial.
He's somehow in like a space of like 3 days gotten a trial, 7 years, and then he's broken out, and there's no news on the fact that he's broken out, or no, like, you know,
there's a breakout in the prison.
There's a breakout in the
prison. Not
even
just him, there is a breakout.
Yeah, there's a breakout, and there's an arrest warrant for Dick Grayson because he's broken out of prison. So
yeah,
if they ignore that in season 3, I'm gonna be like, come on,
it'll be ignored. It'll be ignored.
It would be ignored and it'd be upsetting.
So on that, what did you think of Deathstroke as the villain for season 2?
Which part?
We're gonna talk. Okay.
Up until Jericho was announced alive, he was awesome.
I was a bit iffy about him in the beginning. I felt like when we first really see him, because the whole point of Deathstroke is that he's a master combat. He has the same kind of martial art and ability of Batman. So he's obviously ridiculously talented, and you'd think he could take on Titans quite easily, or at least a couple of them. I didn't really felt like he could. To be honest, I felt like when Rachel, Garfield, and Jason went to go get him, I felt like they could take him. So for me, it was in the beginning. It was kind of hard for me to believe that Deathstroke was such an adversary.
I think this season they kind of focus on him being a bit older and his whole he's more tactical and more what's the word? Like it's just a mental game.
Yeah, I think probably because he'd faced the original Titans a few years earlier. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
So maybe it was just more of a calculated thing, and that's why he was showing the signs that he was showing, I guess you could say.
I did feel like his relationship with Nightwing was a little forced because I didn't like the Jericho storyline itself.
I did until I found out he was alive in his head, because I didn't. I understand because the way I saw it was, I saw that how Dick kind of fell off the wagon by going after Deathstroke's family and how it's a low blow.
I like that aspect. Yeah,
I liked how it was Dick. That's why everyone was
doing
upset
whatever
with
he
him.
could. Yeah.
So he was doing good, but he was doing what he thought was good, but in reality he was just doing a dick move, pun intended.
Uh-huh.
And so then all of a sudden, Deathstroke obviously has that vendetta against him, rightfully so. Yeah. But then it's he's alive. So why would Deathstroke come back for him if he's alive?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And it's I completely agree, because it's written, not written. It's it's perceived. It's meant to be Nightwing is the reason that Jericho's dead, but Deathstroke really did just stab him.
Yeah, I get,
and I understand that the Dick kind of roped him into it and such.
Yeah, and told him about his dad,
but Deathstroke blatantly stabbed him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're the one that killed him, dude.
Well, he didn't kill him.
Oh, he didn't kill him. Yeah, he went into his head. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the Deathstroke and Nightwing relationship, but I did just kind of feel like it was a little bit forced in a sense, just because of that. I don't know. I kind of felt it really hard to believe that Deathstroke hated Nightwing so much.
What do you think about Deathstroke potentially being alive? Apparently, according to a deleted scene where he's in hospital and he opens his eyes. Which was cut from the thing, but it was also still canon, which probably means it'll be used in a trailer or episode 1.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with Deathstroke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think partly because of it was so disappointing at what happened. Because, so again, Deathstroke is supposed to be the big bad villain of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of becomes it. And then just as he becomes it, in comes Cadmus. So Cadmus is the lab that made Superboy and Crypto, and they what's it called? They brainwash.
Yeah,
they brainwash Superboy and Garfield into doing all these things, and they ultimately become the bad villain of the end of the season for the last probably 2 episodes. Because when does Deathstroke get killed? The last?
It's the last episode.
Oh, the last episode, but it's in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So his death is kind of untimely.
You say killed. You gotta put it
sorry, killed. Mark, yeah. But at this, and I think that's for me. That's why he was a bit of a disappointing villain.
That's fair.
I didn't like that Deathstroke was second fiddle to Cadmus.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I said to you that I thought Cadmus should have been the season 3 villain.
Yeah, but
later on.
Yeah, I do agree. But then Superboy wouldn't have had his story.
No, but you could have, but okay, yeah. And I suppose if they had Superboy come in and not have that story, he would have just been OP and beaten Deathstroke pretty quickly.
See, this is what I have my problem with Superboy. I do like him as a character, but I feel like he's too powerful for the Titans. And I feel like I don't know how they're going to weave that into season 3, for example. Because it's he could end the fight in 30 seconds against 100 people, and it's just not. I don't know. It's just
it's gonna be interesting to see how he goes in season 3.
Yeah, because they're not gonna brainwash him again, and if they do, that's just fucking brain dead writing.
Yeah, well, okay. So you haven't seen the show Young Justice, but it's the animated. It's pretty much the animated version of this, and they obviously have much more freedom, being able to have pretty much every character they want.
Yeah.
In that, Superboy has a dream. He wants to be like Superman because Superman has kind of neglected him because he hasn't fully taken on that. Holy shit, that's kind of my son. Mm-hmm. So he feels neglected. So what he does is he contacts Lex Luthor and he gets these little things that he puts on the side of his arms, and it gives him the full power of Superman.
Oh.
So it's like a drug, essentially. And that makes him also rage more, and he thinks much more irrationally. And so while it obviously helps him, it hinders him with everything else, and he has a blow up with the Titans.
Okay.
In that.
So it'll probably happen next season.
So, yeah. So, like, obviously, it would be kind of like a direct copy from that, but I wouldn't mind seeing that as season 3's story.
Because there is a possibility that Lex Luthor, he was mentioned in season 2, and, you know, at the end, you kind of teasing him being there.
Yeah, I felt like he was.
He was teased being there because,
yeah.
you know, they call it, it's like, oh, it's Lex. And they sound distressed. It's like, oh, yeah, he's probably going to come and step in because it's, you know, that.
Yeah.
But also Blackfire. Yeah, she's probably going to be the main villain too.
Corey's sister who overtook the throne in her homeworld, Tamarin. You think she's teased? I don't disagree with you, but I thought it was someone else first, and I don't really know who I think the villain is now, but I thought it was Parasite, who I actually had as my main villain for the Superman movie pitch we did.
Yeah.
So I thought it was Parasite, which I wouldn't hate either, because he kind of just takes over people as well. So I wouldn't hate that for season 3 as the villain. But I think you're probably right with the Blackfire.
They were teasing it throughout the last couple of episodes. Like, they were talking about it, and she's like, "Oh, you're going to be sorry." So, you know, she's come down to get her.
Here's my thing with that though. I mean, I think we both agree with this. I feel like there were so many things throughout the season that were mentioned and then forgotten about. Like it was made to seem like it was of note and important, but
yeah,
you know,
I mean, because it's the last episode. Like, we're also teased at Rachel's there's something about Rachel, like, that was teased. Like,
she went to... Yeah, that's another thing.
That wasn't what I was going to talk about, but yeah.
Do you want to... Or what were you going to say?
I forgot, so we'll go into this, yeah.
Well, Rachel, at the end of it, for some weird-ass reason, she decides to go to Themyscira with Donna's body, because... Oh, yeah, Donna dies.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so Wonder Girl dies. Can we get on that first and then go to Rachel?
It was just poor writing. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, it was.
Poor writing, and so, I understand Superboy was probably a little bit dazed after what happened, but Superboy just had his moment of clarity of how he wants to help people.
It seemed perfect that Superboy could have gone and saved it.
Like, it would have been his moment of clarity. He's like, I'm doing good now, but it's just like, he's just going to stand there and do nothing when he could probably lift and just throw it away with one finger, and we're going to let a main character die off just so Raven can go back to her hometown, probably save her whilst, you know, in between the season, and then she's going to come back like nothing happened. It's like, here's Rachel's new powers.
It also seemed like Donna could have just thrown it. She didn't seem like she had to hold on to it for that long.
She could have just like caught it and just dropped it.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, because the people that nearly got hit moved out the way quite quickly, and it didn't seem like there was anyone else that was about to be hit directly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit odd.
Yeah, I agree with you. Very lazy writing, and I hated that because I felt, and it's not like I didn't feel like her death was built up.
No, it was just kind of like, hey, we've finished the entire, like, we've defeated the main villain, world is saved, but wait, we're going to progress the story a bit more, so we're going to add this extra 10 minutes, which makes no sense, but we just need to do it.
If you were going to kill someone, I feel like Hank probably would have been a better way to go.
Yeah.
I felt like his story was done.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And Hank and Dawn, don't start me on this one. Why would they tease them getting back together after what he did to her?
They should be done, first of all. Second of all, you don't like Dawn. I think she's very good. No,
don't get me wrong. I just don't think her acting... I like Dawn, but at times I feel like her acting's a bit subpar.
See, I disagree. I had no problems with her acting throughout the series. I think it's good.
Hank hurt her. I'm just upset about Hank at the moment.
But yeah, I feel like Hank could have died, and then that could have been like... And then Dawn could have been all emotional about it, and that would have been the ending that we would have all liked to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not back together because he's dead, but she realizes how much she cares for him, and he sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It would have made more sense than Donna, because there's no reason why Donna should have died.
It made literally no sense.
Yeah, very left to center.
So
it is a problem with a superhero show or a superhero movie is because some of these characters have so many powers. It's kind of hard to write a good show or a good thing because there's so much to include, and if you do one thing, you don't think about. So I understand that, you know, the writers of this show, like, I understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a lot that you just haven't accounted for, and it's just like you could have accounted for more.
I'm very, very surprised that they actually went and opted to go with that death for Donna. Like, it genuinely is some of the laziest writing I've ever seen. Like, it's not built up. It doesn't make any sense. It's silly. And with that, we'll lead on to Rachel's decision. So they're going to take Donna's body back to Themyscira. And for some reason, Rachel decides, I'm going to go, even though I didn't really feel like they had much of a relationship.
No, neither. they went in that taxi together and then she ran off. But it's just like that was it.
And I don't really know what Rachel thinks the Themyscirans are going to do for her.
She wants to, I don't know, because she wants to explore her powers, but like,
what are they going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. It would make more sense if she looked for like someone like, I don't know if you know Constantine.
Yeah, I think so.
It would make more sense if she looked for someone like that, or Zatanna, or someone of the dark magic. You know, like not Themyscira.
It's a bit odd, but
yeah,
she'll probably like be able to revive Wonder Girl, and then
which I don't want. Like, just she's dead now. That's
like
what it is.
I wasn't emotional because I was like, what the fuck? I was like more just like pissed off because I was like such bad, annoying writing.
100%. Yeah.
I feel bad for shitting on the show, but like it's just poorly written at times and just. It needs to be said. It needs to be said.
Like, I think the reason as well is that we keep picking out all the negatives of this is because it had so much potential. I mean, 100% it is. But there should have been it had so much more potential.
Yeah, I think that's what we're disappointed at is the fact that this show could have been an 8 or 9 out of 10, but instead we're going to be giving it a 6 or a 7 because of all these things that just let it down. Which, in reality, with good writers, I mean, not that they're bad writers, but with more thought.
No, they are.
Don't be rude. With better thought, with more thought.
I think you're right. The thought thing is probably the one thing that they needed. Like, just to think about everything that's going on and what could happen. Like, what did you like about the show?
I really like Dick Grayson's arc.
I love everything Dick Grayson about it. Yeah. I thought it was awesome.
I liked them, like the camaraderie that was there, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the characters' individual decision making.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a bit lackluster.
I felt like it just was like, why?
Yeah.
I thought they didn't make sense with a character.
I was questioning a lot of the characters' decisions.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I was a superhero and I had these powers, this is what I would do. And that's like a split second decision. Like, I'm assuming have much more intelligence than me, a higher IQ, and they don't think to do these things.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I will say that I did like Garfield. I liked Garfield a lot.
I want to see more Garfield.
Yeah, he was fun and positive. I liked everything when he turns into animals. I thought he was quite fun. So I had no problems with him. He was consistent as well throughout the thing, apart from that one time he fucked off with Rachel and Jason.
Yeah.
Jason I grew to like more. I was hoping he'd be killed by Deathstroke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did I tell you this?
I think you did, actually. We'll go into this.
Well, so Jason, in the comics, Jason gets killed by Joker.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
he's reborn.
But he doesn't actually get killed. Bruce thinks he gets killed because he gets beaten and then the whole building blows up on him, but somehow he survives. And then he becomes the Red Hood. And he hates Bruce for that because he feels like Bruce left him and abandoned him. So I would have... And obviously they're not going to be bringing Joker into that universe. So I was really hoping that Deathstroke would kill him and he would feel like that Dick and Bruce Wayne have given up on him because Bruce essentially pawned him off to Dick to help him out.
Yeah.
So I was really hoping for that. I thought that'd be sick.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would love to see that. I would love to see him be insane because I think he's good as Jason Todd.
He is a good actor. He does it very well.
Yeah.
I think acting is probably one of the strong suits of this thing. All the characters do well at their respective roles as a whole. I wouldn't say there's many like...
I would say probably the writing is the thing that lets it down.
With what they're given, I think they all do pretty well.
I would say so too, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't like whatever her name is, Superboy's mum.
Yeah.
Don't know her name. I hated her.
I think that was just the writing,
That was the shittest episode.
I think that was just the writing, to be honest with you. Like, the whole mum thing, like, I think that was just more
It was
writing.
incredibly forced. And I know it was going to be a little forced.
Yeah.
But it was...
I don't think it's more on her. I think it's just more on the way that was written. That whole
episode. I'll chalk it up to that
because that whole episode annoyed me.
I didn't like that episode at all.
No, the reason it's like, Jason Todd's falling to his death, but hang on, we have Superboy.
No, see, I disagree with you. I like that. I liked it because you can't just keep finding people. I liked it that he stumbled onto that.
Yeah,
I was a fan of it.
I would have preferred if Jason Todd was caught by Superboy, and then you see Superboy, and it's like then it goes into his origin story. Because then it's just I didn't care. Not that I didn't care, but like it
wasn't a linear storyline. They jumped back and then came to the present day.
I was more like, what happens to Jason? Can I skip? Like, I obviously wasn't gonna skip it.
I suppose that's fair.
I was like, I wasn't as invested in his origin because I would rather see what happens to Jason. Like, I obviously knew there was a very good chance he would survive.
That's
but
true.
in the odd chance that they pulled a big risk or something, It's just like I wanted to skip past it and see what happened to Jason rather than, if I saw that Jason was okay, I'm like, oh, who's this great person that saved Jason?
Yeah.
And then it shows us who Superboy was. I think that's makes much more sense.
I'd probably agree with you, actually. Now that you mention it, I think I did actually forget that Jason was falling.
To his
that
death,
that whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
I did not forget.
Yeah, I get that.
I did not forget because I was on a plane coming back from the Gold Coast and I didn't have a chance to finish the episode because we were landing. So I was like halfway through the episode and I had to get off the plane, come home and then finish it.
I think it was because I might have stopped watching after the Jason episode, went to bed, and then...
How could you go to bed after watching that episode?
I think it was really late. I don't remember.
That's right. But do you have anything else to say about the show?
Look, I have high hopes for season 3.
Yeah.
I really do hope, because the costumes are sick. Whoever did all of them, I think killed it. Even Hawk and Doves, which are a little bit different. I think they're really good. I loved Aqualad's costume. I love Wonder Woman's costume. Superboy, how he got his costume is a little bit on the nose. But even so, whatever.
Yeah, I think the only thing about this show that lets it down is a bit of pacing. And at times the irrelevant subplots, which we're not going to talk about. I don't just basically how there's a lot of character things which don't make much sense, like Ravens.
They're mentioned and they're not revisited at all.
Yeah.
Even though they're made to seem important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I think that everything else besides the pacing of the show and some of the writing is, besides that, the shows are very good. And we do talk about the negative things because we want to help these shows be better and we do want to see them. We want to see them be good.
And we are the ones that will make them better. That's why we do it.
Because Warner Brothers do listen to our podcast.
We've heard. We've heard straight from Walt Disney himself, straight out the grave. He's actually mentioned to me that I'm on season 3. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be better.
No, you're not meant to reveal it.
Alright, well, it's happening, guys.
I'm going to be Superman. Henry Cavill, I'm sorry.
You're going to be the stand-in like they do in Shazam, where you just show the lower half of you.
Look at my curl. If you're on YouTube, look at my curl.
That's a nice curl. He had that for a while, and I dug it. It was nice.
Thank you. But that's it for the episode. Unless you got anything else to say.
I don't think so. No.
No. Well, that is episode 33. We hope you guys did enjoy.
We're back. We're back in full swing of it. Yeah. We're better than ever.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for watching, guys, or listening. If you've made this far, please rate us 5 stars on iTunes. I don't think you can rate on Spotify, but if you can, do that too.
Yeah,
check us out on our social medias at TRSM Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
We post some good stuff.
Yeah, we do.
We posted how there's the first pictures of US Agent from the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and the Batman just started filming today.
New Transformers.
And
we also got the sitcom bracket at the moment, which is the best sitcom of just the best sitcom of all time. We currently have a tournament running, which is completely fan voted.
So if you want to get a part of that, please do, because we accept any and every vote. We count every single one of them ourselves.
Instagram does actually, but that's all right.
We do it individually.
We check the
statistics every time. So please get involved in that, because the more interaction we have with you guys, the better the show is for us.
Yeah, because we would love to include some fan opinions in future episodes if it does become relevant.
Yep.
I think we'll do that starting next week. We'll do it starting when we get it. When we get it. I was meant to make the joke. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever you've done. We appreciate it a lot. And that's been it for the Regular Size Man Podcast, episode 33. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.